Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at a very cool spice pick in the Kanto Cup, and that is KANTO Dugtrio. In yesterday's video we did take a look at the Alolan variant, but today we are taking a look at the original Dugtrio. And this battler whose battles we are featuring is running a very cool moveset. For the fast move, they are running Unobtainable Legacy Mudshot, which means even if you have an Elite TM, you can't get Mudshot on Dugtrio. The only way to get it is to have a Dugtrio from 2016 that already has the move. To round out the rest of the moveset, Dugtrio is running Mud Bomb and Stone Edge for the charge moves, so this thing is going to hit very hard and be very glassy. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and let's take a look at Unobtainable Legacy Dugtrio in action. Very nice lead right off the bat, Dugtrio into Shadow Kanto Ninetales. As you can see, these fast moves from Ninetales are absolutely chunking Dugtrio. Dugtrio is exceedingly glassy. Going to commit the shield on the Weather Ball. They bring in Pidgeot, but the question is, do they know about Stone Edge? Dugtrio going for the Stone Edge, and it lands, almost one-shotting the Pidgeot, and one Ice Shard will be enough to take it out. Oh my goodness. Back in comes the Shadow Kanto Ninetales. Dugong is very bulky, so anything outside of a Solar Beam, it is comfortably tanking. And just able to get to the Water Pulse, and this will be doing a nice chunk of damage if it lands. They decide to let the Ninetales go down, and they have Alolan Muck in the back. Alolan Muck will slightly outpace, but honestly, I like the shield. The Alolan Muck is not going to be able to reset the Icy Wind debuff, so you may as well debuff them to give yourself the best chance to win in the end game. And now just farming up, and a very nice catch onto the Shadow Hypno. Recognizing the Shadow Hypno is not going to have a lot of play versus the Muck, so may as well use it as a damage sponge. Now that confusion damage threatens Muck enough where it is forced to throw, and from here, this should be a very clean win as Dugtrio comes in, Mudshots down, and that is a good game. Alright, hopping into the next match. Picking up more of a neutral lead versus Hypno, but Ice Punch could be a little rough, so going to safe switch into Dugong and baits out a Bite Alolan Raticate. So Bite is going to be doing quite a bit more damage than Quick Attack, but charges a lot slower, so it definitely applies a lot less shield pressure. So Dugong is going to commit the shield, so they are looking to try and flip switch if at all possible. Going for another Icy Wind. Actually deciding to go with the undercharge, going to try and go for the aggressive farm down, and they're able to do it. Very nicely done. Back in comes the Hypno, and Dugong has energy because they undercharged to debuff this Hypno and to do a nice chunk of damage, able to get to the second Icy Wind. A very nice play, and this Hypno is very low. And now since they're debuffed, you bring in your own Hypno, they switch out to reset the debuff, but they have Nidoqueen in the back, so that is terrible for the opponent. They're going to be going for the Poison Fang, that's not going to be doing enough damage. You can bring in the Dugtrio. Dugtrio doesn't have to shield the Poison Fang as they are the ground typing. Poison Fang honestly still does a lot of damage. Dugtrio is very glassy, and from here with over 2 Mud Bombs loaded, this is going to be a good game, as Dugtrio is just going to be able to out-spam Hypno. Going for Mud Bomb number 2, Hypno trying to farm down, and that is not going to work. Dugtrio gets to a 3rd Mud Bomb, and that is a good game. Alright, hopping into the next match, we have Dugtrio into Alolan Marowak. So pretty good lead right off the bat. It is a Fire Spin Alolan Marowak, and these Fire Spins are chunking the Dugtrio. Going for the Mud Bomb, able to get the shield, which is very nice. And now going to commit the shield, because most anything is going to be taken out Dugtrio. They bring in Lapras, but do they know about the Stone Edge? Going for the Stone Edge. Dugtrio lands it. That does massive damage, almost one-shotting the bulky Lapras. Can safely bring in the Hypno. Hypno will tank that serve, no problem. Back in comes the Alolan Marowak, and he goes for the Ice Punch. My guess is he probably just misclicked, meant to click on the Thunder Punch there. and going to be going for another Thunder Punch, not quite able to get there, and at this point, it's low enough that you can definitely just let this go down, but unfortunately, it doesn't KO. They go for the Bone Club, not enough damage. Hypno able to take them out. Oh, they have Magneton in the back. In comes Dugtrio, and look at the Mud Shots. Mud Shot out here looking like Mud Slap. Oh my goodness. And it looks like the opponent probably force closed the app. The damage registers, and that is a good game. All right, hopping into the next match. Pretty nice lead. Dugtrio into Alolan Muck. They save switch into the Shadow Hypno and counter swap Dugong. Unfortunately, the Hypno save switch is definitely tough for this team as they go for the Shadow Ball, so maybe they're running Shadow Ball Fire Punch, which would be an interesting moveset. I would expect to see Thunder Punch, but apparently they don't have it as they go for the Shadow Ball, and they end up getting outpaced. This Icy Wind should be taking out the Hypno if they decide not to shield, so able to win switch advantage, which is very nice. But the opponent has Shadow Machamp. The Dugong still switch locked in, gets farmed all the way down, but they have Hypno. Back in comes the Alolan Muck, and in comes not Alolan, Kanto Dugtrio. And Dugtrio is going to be able to spam these Mud Bombs thanks to that unobtainable Legacy Mud Shot already at a second one, and it just charges so quickly. They're at a third, so all they'll have to do is shield, go for the Mud Bomb, and that will be taking out the Alolan Muck. And from here, there is still the Machamp in the back. Machamp will need to try and farm down more than likely, but Dugtrio too spammy, getting to another Mud Bomb that takes out the Shadow Machamp, and that is a good game. All right, hopping in the next match. Dugtrio into Alolan Muck, another great lead. They save switch into Golbat. He's staying in. He's going for the Stone Edge. Come on. Please don't know about the Stone Edge. Come on. The Stone Edge lands. That does huge damage. One-shotting the Golbat. And they have Nidoqueen in the back. This is looking like this could be a Dugtrio sweep. Going for the Mud Bomb. The Nidoqueen just going for the Poison Fang. You don't have to shield this, but honestly, Dugtrio is so glassy that even the Poison Fang does a lot of damage. Able to get off another Mud Bomb. This will be threatening that last shield. They elect to let it go. Brings in the Dugong, and now the opponent brings back the Alolan Muck. And from here, this should be a pretty straightforward win, as they've been able to reset the debuff, so they can basically just waste time here with Dugong, because Dugtrio will be able to close out this match and get the win. And now able to go for another Icy Wind, and Dugong's still pretty healthy. Icy Wind, able to take out the Muck and the Nidoqueen, and that is a good game. All right, hopping to the next match. Ooh, Shadow Nidoqueen, great lead for Dugtrio. And the opponent switches in Alolan Graveler, taking double super effective damage from ground. That is a misclick if I've ever seen one. They bring in Dugong, and they're going for the Stone Edge. Does Dugong know about the Stone Edge? Going for the Stone Edge, and it lands. That does huge damage. Dugong has to be thinking about top lefting. They go for the Water Pulse. And there's the top left. Oh my goodness. And then hopping into the final match, leading into a Pidgeot. Not the best lead. These gusts are chunking. But do they know about Stone Edge? Dugtrio, Stone Edge lands and able to Mud Shot down. Oh my goodness. Now the opponent taking a while to come in with the next Pokemon. They bring out Shadow Lapras. Now the question is, Shadow Lapras knows about the Stone Edge, so they have to respect it, and they do. But now you can very safely align Shadow Hypno with the Lapras, and you should be in a pretty good spot here. Opting to commit the shield, they do get baited with the Surf. That is unfortunate, but Thunder Punch will be doing a lot of damage onto the Shadow Lapras, so we do see the shield come up. Lapras farming up again, and Hypno deciding to commit the shield as well. If they're staying in, they may potentially be weak in the back to a loaded Hypno. Another Surf coming through. They can tank the Surf. That does get them pretty low, but now going to be able to get off that Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch will be taking out the Lapras, and we'll see what is in the back, and it's a Hypno of their own. So that does make sense why they didn't want to have their Hypno come into a loaded Hypno from the opponent. Makes quite a bit of sense there, but from here, Dugong is going to be able to close out this match, able to land that debuff. Thunder Punch just not doing enough damage, able to get to another Icy Wind. This will be taking out the Shadow Hypno, and that is a good game. So unfortunately, only a few battles were submitted, but Kanto Dugtrio, despite being very glassy, packs an absolute punch. And I do have some bonus battles here. I have 2 bonus battles featuring Alolan Dugtrio that didn't make it into the other video. So hopping into the first match, picking up a terrible lead in Poliwrath. We save switch into Venusaur, and instantly we are punished by an Alolan Muck. So this is absolutely terrible, as at this point, this is looking more or less like a hard counter. We are going to be going for another Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant able to force a shield. Now that is very nice. A shield advantage is something that we can hopefully leverage in the end game. They go for the Dark Pulse, doesn't KO, and they're forced to throw more energy. So here, I'm just going to let this go down. I have a Alolan Dugtrio with Mud Slap. I'll be able to Mud Slap down and get some energy. They bring in Poliwrath, and now I'm just going to be going for the Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb will be doing a solid chunk of damage. We're able to get the last shield. Now we bring in Pidgeot, and they have Shadow Lapras in the back. So they technically have us Mon for Mon hard countered here, but we're able to get shield advantage. We're going to be going for the Feather Dance just because these Ice Shards are doing massive damage. We have to lower the amount of damage that we are taking. And now we go for a very ambitious farm down. If we can farm down, shield up here, of course, farm down, leave with the Brave Bird, we can win this, and we're just able to do so. We leave with the Brave Bird, back in comes the Shadow Poliwrath, and it feels the wrath of Pidgeot with that Brave Bird. And finally, hopping into the last match against Bad Hand, we have Alolan Dugtrio into Alolan Graveler, and the instant resign. He reached out afterwards, mentioned that he was triple weak to it, so pretty quick concede there. But all in all, back to Kanto Dugtrio. I think it's a very interesting pick. Obviously, it's exceedingly hard to get one with Mudshot, as you have to either have one from 2016 with the move, or trade for one from 2016 that already has the move. And it's exceedingly glassy, but that energy generation and with how hard it hits, it honestly feels like a decent contender for the Kanto Cup. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.